certain things like Sharp Pain feel a lot worse because Pure Pain targets lowest health unit. And that's a big deal. I found out about that only yesterday too. So like Sharp Pain, I don't really like. Phantom Pain even gets a bit worse because of this, so Exploit Weakness might be best. And like Heavy Wounds and Sympathy Pains kind of get worse. Basically, like every pain ability kind of gets worse because of how it targets right now. Apart from End, also, I don't know if I like Enthrall better than Golem. But apart from that, I mean, it was, yeah. But yeah, I'm just going to do more games like that. I'm going to play in the same style, explaining things in the same way, just playing kind of tryhard, and consistent. Tryhard, flexible, consistent, and just dodging baits early. It's like, I don't know. Sometimes you find like a lot of bat urges and CKs, and some days that's not a bait, some days it is. I like Shadow Demon more than Tiny. I guess I do. I mean, in S6 maybe I do. I don't know. Heartless kind of sucks early. Shadow Demon is kind of a weird unit. It's like Demon is good early, but Heartless sucks early. And like his DPS and body are just kind of weak. I don't really like Shadow Demon. I think this unit kind of f***ing sucks, honestly. Who was it that liked Shadow Demon? One of my friends liked Shadow Demon. Was it you, Bane? He blows. I was pretty hyped for this unit based on his tags. It's cool. A Heartless Demon is cool. And Purge isn't a bad ability. Embarrassment over gloves on 2. Embarrassment over second gloves on 2. Fuck, yeah, fine. I'll go Embarrassment over second gloves on 2.
I will rule from the shadows.
Just give it a chance to light people on fire.
That's fine. Baby likes Shadow Demon? Yeah, that makes sense. Cho likes Shadow Demon. Shadow Demon is good. Bane likes Shadow Demon. If his tags are good and his ability is good, why is he bad? I mean, his tags are... Heartless is potentially a good tag. Heartless is a weird tag. Where it's like, it's very good and you need to have Heartless on your board, but Heartless is a late game tag and Shadow Demon is a early game unit, right? And Demon is not as useful of a tag anymore. I mean, especially if like Hobgin feels better. Like part of the reason you feel like you have to run a couple demons is because an S6 feels better than Hobgin. But I mean, when they buff Hobgin, I guess Arcane Boost is okay.
I'm basically 1/8 gay.
When they actually buff Hobgin, the demon tag will probably start feeling pretty weak. I don't know. I don't know, dude. I kind of don't know what's happening in these games. I'm trying to like lose round 1, but sometimes like 3 random units will sometimes just win round 1. I'm gonna take this Arcane Boots off. Maybe it's too good. What happened to this UI? Why does it look like it's alpha? I think this UI is better. Certain things are a bit smaller, but it's a lot more. It conveys a lot more information. Even Drow is better Heartless for late game Hunter synergy? Yeah, I mean, or even just like the attack speed or scales into late game. I mean, the concept of Heartless on a tier 1 unit, like a 1-cost unit, is not necessarily very synergistic. And as powerful as Heartless is, you only really need a pair of Heartless. I don't know, does anyone like 4 Heartless? As powerful as Heartless is, you only really need a pair of Heartless, and you're kind of like, I mean, you have a lot of options there, right? You've got like between Pudge and some alliances can use Drow. Even like Knights can sometimes use Drow. I've seen people mess around with that. Between Pudge and Lich if you find it, and Nyx. Nyx gives you like the other option, and Necro. It's just like, it feels hard for Shadow Demon to kind of fit in there. I mean, if you level 2s, you play him early, but that's true of any early game unit. If you level 2 it, you play it early. I don't know. Like, do you guys actually use Shadow Demon on your late game build? Are you in 4 Heartless? Because the only reason I can imagine why you would do that is if you're in 4 Heartless. So Nyx completes, and Bounty pairs. Could be an early Assassin's splash, just for playing for the level 2s that we have. I think these are out. I think this is out. I think this is out. And is Batrider out? I don't know. This is weird. It's very bizarre. I mean, I want to hit the interest points. I don't know if I like Nyx as a unit, but on a paired bounty, I mean, I kind of have to change the way I think about assassins. Because, like, the concept of assassins is they can actually be an early game alliance now. Like, now that they have so many options, and now that they've been buffed to 30% DPS, which happened a while ago. instead of 20%
Only a
DPS.
fool would oppose the Port of Restore.
Like, early assassins are actually kind of
You'll have to
okay.
put in some work to take these guys down.
Nyx is pretty cool. Spiked Carapace is good. He's okay. $14.37, play 4 Heartless with Shadow Demon and 3 Hunter. Does he, like, do that, like, every game? Or is that something he did, like, once? Because that's, like, a big deal. Shadow Demon's downside is you can flunk his ability on targets that have low HP, but you get that with a lot of stuff. Yeah, sure. Weaver. I mean, I think Nakes early. I shouldn't have even sold that other one. I just don't like playing for Nakes early. I don't know. I'm still scared of this board accidentally winning. These ranks are too low to lose streak. Look at these two people have all 1 costs. Dude, we fucking won against this board. Like, fuck. I literally just can't run this many units. I don't know, man. In the entire, like, last month and a half I've played, I just lose streak consistently. And it's like, you're not used to having to weaken your own board so hard. So hard for this. Are we good here? It looks like we lost. Nice, nice.
Quite the run.
Should open for it. Tinker Clockwork. I will respect by these. So we did lose. We are on the lose streak. Streaking. Dazzle. I want to pair the tiny. Pair bat is kind of low value. Shadow Demon 4. I don't really like that much. But, I mean, Shadow Demon is very 3-starable. That's an aggressive sell. Selling the pad bounty there I think is a bit much. I think so. I haven't played this patch. Is 4 Trolls really good now or not? 4 Trolls is pretty sweet. It's a little bannable by jail. And like right now we have a jail where Witch Doctor is out. I don't really like it, if anything other than Shadow Shaman is jailed, personally. Although, yeah, 4 Trolls is good late game. It unironically is. I mean, Pudge is just kind of good in general with Shadow Demon. Level 2. You don't go out of your way for Heartless in the early game, but I mean, it's a level 2 and a good front line, so that's kind of all you need. 8 and 9 are the 2 rounds on the lose streak. If you start losing from 4, 8 and 9 are the 2 rounds that give you 2 gold each instead of 1 gold each on the lose streak. We hit the Morphling complete out of nowhere. Huge hit. And I'm ready to go into some 3 Assassin Splash to transition. So the easy sell, I think, is Enchantress, Warlock, Nyx. Nyx 4 is a bad sell if we want to go into Assassins. But it's like, it's not the biggest deal anyway, and I don't like these early commitments. I will weaken this board. I will lose these rounds. 8 and 9 are the most important rounds to lose. It's just too valuable. However, you do just have to complete the Morphling, right? It's Blacklist Drow, though. I don't want her.
My children will thrive.
This Bat Rider we could get out of too. But yeah, this board is pretty ready to win. I still like losing 9 before we turn it into a win streak. I don't know. It's a little debatable though. Like, it's possible we were actually supposed to win 8 and 9. I don't really like that personally. We can maybe hit... I mean, we win this X9. This is actually kind of interesting. Am I supposed to win just for the X9? That might be a little dumb. I think losing this is just too efficient. I mean, the 2 gold plus the free roll has to be ahead. So I don't know if X9ing that can make sense. That being said, it's a very cheap X9. I mean, we're selling like 1 Gondar, 1 Slark, and 1 Batrider. All singletons. I really just don't respect singles. They kind of just suck. Still, Slark is expensive. And so you don't play for 3 costs early. I mean, we're not going 6 assassins. All we need is 3. And a non-level 2 assassin is just kind of a bad thing.
I needed this.
I just don't like these other ones enough. 1, 2, 3. It's a little too hard to hit this ingest point. I think that's okay though. Why did I just do that? Why is 25% damage bad? Because you lose the healing. The healing is nuts. The healing in the late game will heal you for like 500 plus health. It's more than that, right? I mean, it's insane, right? That's like the entire reason you pick her. So... Wait, sorry. Marta's Boon is 10 to 100. It's 50 per level and then 5 per round.
I won't let you down. Getting stronger.
Now, where did I place that golem?
I wonder if I could run CK for a bit. I think it's a little too tight to fit into this board. My warrior start isn't really that good. I can easily escape warriors here because like I have no level 2 warrior. If Abaddon wasn't jailed today, I could go into some weird like 3 or 4 knights. No reason to play for Warlock here. Pretty dead shop. We have PA. I want to hit an aggressive interest point here. So my positioning is a little awkward, but we have so many 2-stars that playing for more options on my bench is just kind of shitty. Because everything on our board is 2-starred, right? So like, an unpaired Pudge, it's like, yeah, he's Heartless. An unpaired Pudge that, I mean, my board is tight, right? It's like, I have no Warriors that's 2-stars, so Warriors isn't going to be a big alliance for this early game. We have Target Buddy, which means we kind of don't need the front line because Target Buddy gives it to us, which is good. So yeah, it just seems like we can chill for a bit. So we broke our lose streak. We'll hit, we'll try to win 13 and then we'll take like a level on 14 when we're at max interest points. And let's go ahead and fix our positioning a bit. I don't even know why I'm benching these, like they're not going to upgrade into anything. I don't think I like PA. Playing for 3 costs early is just kind of bad, period. And Bat Arcane Boots is obviously a bit better. A bit bad. It doesn't really matter. It's kind of overstated. But yeah, Bat having like the low mana pool, like you get the Arcane Boots a bit earlier. Would matter in like a board like this.
I'm not scared of the court of Restool.
Is Tia a good unit? I guess she's pretty alright. I mean, if you're in Assassins.
It's time to send the trolls a message. This isn't over yet.
So hit the full gold interest.
Not taking this easy, are they?
I mean, it's not as if we can't just go deep for Assassins, but I really don't like it. But I think it's a bad strategy in general. Losing that round was kind of awkward.
Perfect.
I mean, I think I can at least X9 here, and I think this is a very X9able board. When I level up and put Pudge in, I think this board just wins everything. That's an early Broodmother when I have Nyx. How fascinating. Yeah, I can do it. It's like, for early spots, good stuff. Insects can be good. Shouldn't be playing for 3 stars in Assassins, though. Trying to understand why you're selling out of Nyx over the ties. 3 stars in Assassins? I'm not in Assassins. Guys, we're not playing roll value. We're not committing to like a 6 of comp. There's no Assassins here. I'm playing good stuff, and I'm playing the 2 stars I have, and I'll transition out of them. Assassins happen to be what we found for now. Is good stuff still a thing? Yeah, of course. I mean, this is and pretty much always will be the most competitive way to play the game. By playing a more drafty style and splicing, like, it's just, you're playing it like a draft game. Like, you are combining, like, what you find early with what you find late, instead of just, like, jamming, like, a committal 6 of, like, 6 warriors, 6 hunters, 6 knights, 6 assassins are going to be less reliable in general. Now, on occasion, there might be times where, like, those builds are good, but, like, in general, the game is kind of designed to support good stuff. But I really like it, though. I think it's a lot better this patch. I know that good stuff has, like, is a word you can't say without getting some Dan's games. But that's because it existed in a really, really brainless, just, like, single comp form before. Whereas now it's, like, it's actually like you're playing draft. Like, you have to choose different endgame boards in different situations, right? What do you transition into? Depends on what we find. That's the nuance to this. I mean, the options are some things with 3 warriors, some things, you know, good standalone units like Arc Warden or Bristleback. You've got, like, options for primordials, like 4, even 6 primordials sometimes, depending on the jail. You have even, like, some 3 mage splashes people like, early game spiders, pair druids early, pair druids mid, pair druids late. Druids are kind of good pretty much all game, right? So yeah, we lost a bit more health than I would have liked. Looks like it's a pretty strong lobby. But it's just a different style of play. You just play based on what you get. There's no... It's not supposed to be that there's one comp you just jam. It's just that was the only thing you could do before this patch. You prefer Inisix to Hobgen? Yeah, she seems better right now. Hobgen just has, like, one line of abilities that makes him decent, but he's very, like, I don't know. His animations are too long, and it depends on the comp you're in, though.
Do your work, assassins.
So we'll level up again here. Try something else. Looking to complete insects at this point in time. Insects are probably the way that carries my board a little bit through this early game, since we found Broodmother early. And that's their place. Like, if you need to find Broodmother or Sanking really early for it to really make sense.
Well, that was satisfying.
Hit Weaver, and we're good. So we have to take out some random level 2, maybe Batrider. I think Pudge is a little too important here, especially with insects. So this is fine. Weaver can just do this, so that's gonna be okay. So we can sell it to interest point like this, and if you get insects like pre-20, they can win you a few rounds, I think.
Your army isn't half.
Brood doesn't really need to stay alive, right? So Blink Brood is kind of okay. I don't know. We'll see how this does. I'm not too sure how I feel about this, but I do know it's like an early game build, This is like the dream scenario for it. It's the decent jail for it, and it's just early. It's like you hit the tier 4 early, and you're like, whoa, let's play a little flexible. Let's go for it. So I think
Delightful.
we want to take another aggressive level. So maybe selling the Batrider could have been wrong, but either way, it's not like I have bad units to put in here. So Nakes over Pudge is pretty easy. I think that should have been done before, because we kind of can't be in Warriors here, but we still want to be keeping the Pudge. There's just no ability to go into 3 Warriors here. And Pudge over Tiny Pair is better. Now we can swap our Blink around a bit. Lone Druid, like getting that off earlier, feels a bit more important. And this just seems like a good start. So I can have Lifestealer back up a bit, let my tanks tank. What is build? Playing. It's not good stuff. Good. Maybe we need a different word just because it's like it used to mean something different than it means now. It's like draft. It's like you can play the game either draft or constructed, right? And we're just playing draft. We're playing the units what we get. We're leveling aggressively instead of rolling. We're not going for 3 stars. The game is kind of set up for this to be the competitive way to play the game. The reason for that is because this takes a lot more skill. You have to make... I mean, the game is sort of draft by design, right? That's kind of the entire point of the game. It's like a draft game. You're supposed to play situational. And going for 3 stars is always going to be more risky. Less consistent. No big alliance hits for us here, and the biggest thing is just like fixing minor positioning here, making a Lifestealer come in a little bit later. Broodmother coming in up 10 a bit early is okay. 2000 HP is actually, it's alright. So yeah, it's just taking early game good stuff, whatever you're finding early, and then just like being prepared to sell them in for whatever you're finding late. Whereas like, you know, I guess like a normal comp-based builds is gonna kind of commit pre-10. It's like they're running heavy alliances like 6 ofs, and they're trying to 3-star stuff, right? Those are the 2 different ways to play the game. And it's good that playing draft is kind of like more competitive than playing constructed in this game. If that's how you're thinking about it, because it's a lot more skillful. You have to think about the different scenarios and make decisions in the moment. Whereas like if you're playing like role value builds, it's like, okay, I'm in 6 assassins on round 10. Let's just fucking press R on interest points for the rest of the game and complain when we don't hit it, right? That's how you do it. Basically it, right? I would like to see this have a bit more versatility, because we've been kind of traumatized for the past couple of months. A lot of us have felt like, you know, good stuff. It's like there's only one way to play it, so it's kind of dumb because your transition units might look a little different, but your end comp is going to look kind of the same every time. Very stupid. That needs to change. It did change. It got some more support. There's different ways to run it now, but I'm not sure. I still do think it should have more alliances and units for that, particularly for end game builds. It does feel like it's missing like 1 or 2 options, which is fine. I mean, good stuff is just like, I don't think it's boring anymore. It also, on top of like decisions in the moments, on average, positioning will matter a lot more too. For the average like 6 of comp, positioning is just kind of brain dead. Not for all of them, but on average, positioning is a little brain dead. This guy's got Bristle, so he just wins. That's the problem. A level 1 Bristle just kills all your spiders, and you just don't win. And this is kind of why insects like start falling off. Like if you have Broodmother early, it's okay. And if you're playing at like low levels, lower ladder where it won't matter as much, then it's completely okay. But as the player base climbs, like nobody's like Lord yet, right? It's like, I mean, it's going to be, like, I don't know how long, but, I mean, we're all chilling for a while. Like, well, because MMR takes a while to just, like, the people below have to climb up a bit for the people above to even, like, kind of proceed past a certain point. So it's going to take a while for high ranks to really even be a concept right now, because the ladder just reset. But when they are, I mean, I can guarantee you, on most days, units like Bristleback will mean that if you find Broodmother early, you can run it for a bit, and then you transition out of insects. I mean, usually I wouldn't even have like a level 2 Nyx already. We have BB5 already. Moranic is BB5. Okay, so we're very close to Lord. Okay. So we have Druid. Oh no, it's kind of interesting. Because Bracer's Druid is good, and Asher's banned out. Sorry, Arc Warden's banned out today, which means Basher kind of not sucks, but it does feel worse. So let's do a Bristle scan. 2 opponents on Bristles. I just won't go Tidehunters today. I think. I mean, if there's not mages and I'm not in a warrior frontline, I just don't think Tidehunter is even worth it. I mean, he's okay with Refresher. Like, he's a good unit, and we did have a pair of him. And maybe the fact that we have a pair of him makes that wrong, but... And it's not like we can't turn it into a warriors frontline. I mean, it's not like 3 warriors is ever really bad. Like, we have Pudge on bench, we'll find Kunkas, you know. 3 warriors is a good thing to be in general. Yeah, my insects are starting to really fall off a bit here. We need to like stall out boards harder if we want to go insects. Now what I could go is late game insects warlocks. I think insects is... It feels like it falls off kind of aggressively. We don't have gyro, so can't even pair Deadeye. Yeah, our board is starting to really lose. We might need to spend a bit aggressively for doing that. Game's just taunting me at this point. Sanking is just an improvement to Weaver, right? But yeah, my board is a little too behind. If I lose one more round, I kind of have to spend down aggressively. This is a weaker game than before, for sure. I should spend a bit here. I shouldn't be at 40 gold. These are kind of my weakest rounds in the game where I don't have enough time to spend down to like 40 or 30 like I want to.
Tougher than I thought. You dare turn on one of your own. Struck down their leader. Suffer.
Not taking too much damage here.
To humans, I'll be the laughing stock of the court.
I mean, what do I even want to turn this into?
You will know pain.
I mean, maybe this is where you go like TA, PA, anti-mage. Maybe that's an actual ironic thing. When we're weaker, we might actually want to stay in insects. Could be. Because we have like less of an ability to transition out. It's kind of like going down with a ship on like Savages or Druids before.
You're not gonna find someone You're not gonna find someone strong.
I will show them my might.
Assassins are just a little too clunky. Shadow Demon might be my front line. I'm just going to sell it off Pudge. We'll commit to this. One more upgrade. Lifestealer pays. A little too slow. We need to reposition IO. Man, we're so close to our entire bench. The TA is just not working here. So yeah, we need to like actually take this transition point. And this is going to be like... I don't know. I need to figure out like the best ways to transition because I'm still like experimenting. For example, I don't know how good I feel insects is. They're okay. I feel pretty confident that it was right to run them for a few rounds there, but maybe I should have sold out of them by now, or maybe they're actually good enough to the point where I should have committed to them like a bit earlier, even to the point of like keeping that pair Weaver or something like that. I don't know. It's like, it's hard to know exactly how to play post 20. Like the 20 through 30 rounds, the transition rounds, I'm not sure until I know like, you know, what's good and what's bad. You must commit to them more. Yeah, there's also the 25 talent that we can pick up. It's just going to break Bristle though, right? Because Bristle's the one killing all of them. Io kind of sucks here. I need like at least some kind of level 2 for Io to link to, but Nyx and Bristle are both 1, which is pretty awful. Going for bracers, I don't know. If Arc Warden wasn't banned out, maybe I just have to go Basher, because like Arc Basher is still just good. But I think with Arc banned out, and with like the Lone Druid already there, maybe bracers is fine.
We put them out of their misery.
Are you still doing it in Morph? I mean, not much. It's a level 2. So like everything else, everything on my board is pretty shit. I mean, in theory, I could run like Doom. Like a level 1 Doom is not the worst thing ever, you know? Like Brute is okay. But I mean, I haven't completed anything, right?
Be good.
So if we're in spiders, I think our health is too low to escape spiders, so we're just gonna play spiders for the rest of the game. And Marta's Boon is good when we're in spiders, because when the spiders die, they break what killed them, which means we get a lot of breaks. Oh, yeah, I mean, Warlock Pair is good to play for. It feels kind of like we have to be in Bristle. Not the other Heartless. I mean, Shadow Demon is just decent here, right? Like, what do we even take out? Just whatever doesn't 2-star, right? This is we choose our picks around what's 2-starring, basically. And Doom could 2-star. Brood and Io 2-star. And now suddenly it's like, whichever levels between Alk or Doom is just the one we put in, basically. Someone data mined concepts of artifact exclusive items in Underlords, so they either relaunching artifact around season 1 or killing it and reusing concepts. Yeah, what do you think? Artifact exclusive items? What do you mean exactly? Items that were an artifact that weren't in Dota. I mean, like Assassin's Veil, right? Yeah, I mean, that's something that's already in the game. They did that this patch, right? Maelstrom. Just trying to fight for the board. Do what we can. Bristle's attack speed is actually kind of ass. So we're literally just looking for Alchemist or Doom. One Arcane Boots to hit Bristle. Arcane Boots could be a bit more centralized. Lifestealer Gloves? Could be. DPS is 782.
I can't do this on my own.
Bristle's DPS is 229. This DPS thing just keeps changing, right? Because it's counting the beast passive that he has on him.
There will be a massacre.
So the question is, what's the next way this build improves? Because we went all in. We're playing for, I like to call this playing for 5th place. Like, I'm not even playing to win anymore. It's just like, I'm stopping the bleeding. We got a bad situation. We're just not going to, like, bomb out super hard. So we're not playing for, like, econ at all. So the next way this board improves is, like, I mean, probably leveling to 10 and putting in Doom, right? I might have something better at that point in the game than a Doom level 2. $165 versus 72. Man, Nyx's DPS is so bad. Of course, higher attack speed, you know, works on the Brute. It's kind of always plus 50 damage, right? Savage for Bristle cool damage. I don't think Lifestealer's DPS stat counts as Feast. Yeah, no, of course not. But, I mean, you can make the same argument with Bristle, right? Because mana gain is from attack speed anyway. But, like, Feast is a part of it, and Brute is a part of it, and his DPS stat doesn't count either.
Face it, darling, I'm just better than
It's just
you.
base. You don't have Brute? Yeah, I know, but when I do have
We
Brute.
don't need new shoes after this battle.
How you playing? Steam seems to be down in Europe. Yeah, it's just streamer privileges, I guess. I don't know. I mean, a level 2 Doom is probably the biggest impact we can have here. My next step is leveling to 10 on around 31, putting in just whatever, I'm good, and that's just all we do. This guy just fucking leveled to 10. He's a huge streaker. He's got Void coming in on the right side, which is fine. That's going to be... Let's make this a little bit more solo chronoable. Let's move Shadow Fiend a step to the left. Bait this Void. Looks good. But yeah, I mean, our board isn't terrible now. Insects are like... They're a good comp to like... play in like... You know, they're sort of like druids, kind of... Where I feel like they fall off a bit. I don't know how much they fall off, but they do seem like not really a post round 30 comp. It's like druids are like, you know, the pre-20, and insects are like the 20 through 30, maybe. So I don't know how amazing they are. I do know that they're good with insects as passive. Some people argue that they're kind of broken with it, where we have instant regret. I mean, anytime an insect dies when Martyrs Boon is on it, that unit's broken permanently, which is a big deal because break is a powerful effect and it's permanent on that, and fights go long. So there's some people will argue that's like straight up like kind of broken. I don't really know how strong that interaction is. It's hard to tell in these fights. It's pretty good. Yeah, we've just got this guy. He still has the assassins coming in on the right side with the Chronosphere. This looks pretty good. We've got IO guaranteed tethering. If we hit the top player, Camo Mox got a little unlucky and hit the streaker, but we are positioned for him. His assassins should be jumping over on the right side, along with the Void on average. Now that's actually very, very awkward for me. I think, what happened here? Where did the Void jump? Because the Void should prioritize the right side. Did the Sand King blink first? And that canceled it? Because I should be able to, on average, I mean, there's a little bit of RNG in terms of how assassins jump, but try to get them to like cluster with the Void over here. It's pretty good. And we took down the top streaker, which is nice. So yeah, it's kind of important to, in these situations, know when to ship it in early and just play defensively. Again, spending your gold it's kind of a function of like how long you expect the game to last, right? That at the end of the day, your game, which means like if you're dying early, the game is lasting less long, but if you're not dying but other people are, then the game is also lasting less long. That's all it's about. It's just about how long your game is going to last, right?
I'm basically 1/8 gay.
So
WTF, am I already gay? I couldn't follow your latest stream. Are you hyped about Runeterra?
yeah, Runeterra looks pretty cool. I mean, I like Runeterra. It's unironically a good game. It's kind of vanilla, but it's like good vanilla, you know? You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't do anything super fancy, but it's well made and it does its job as a card game pretty well. What's like an ice cream example? What's like an ice cream that's like vanilla but good vanilla? Like not like French vanilla, but like a you know, one of those like Baskin Robbins flavors or whatever the strawberry. Strawberry's not bad. I don't hate strawberry. It's like, it kind of works because it's like, it's good vanilla. I was thinking you guys would have, because you know there's those, not just like the basic ice cream flavors, but like the kind of like the fancy, like special flavors that are mixes of other things. I was thinking there could be an example that's like, you know, one of those that uses like a vanilla base. But I think people don't even really, I don't know. Butter pecan? Does butter pecan use a vanilla base? This example is getting really convoluted. So I'm still most worried about Camomox's board. I don't know, that's weird. That's weird. But yeah, that's what I think about Runeterra. A lot of people don't like vanilla. There's a lot of people that, and a lot of people that watch me, people in my chat, you guys, a lot of you guys want the exotic shit, want the weird shit, you know? You follow me from like Gwent or Artifact, you know? Vanilla is just not your speed anymore. Maybe you played too many card games, you know? I get that. That's kind of how I am in general, but it's good vanilla. Like, you know, it's well made. What's a porn example? What's like very vanilla porn, but good vanilla porn?
The Age of an Essex. Has a nice ring to it, doesn't it?
Lesbian? Yeah, lesbian. That's actually, that's not bad. Yeah, League of Lesbians, exactly. That makes sense, because it's like, it's not, you know, for a lot of us who jerk off a lot, it's not really gonna do it for us, right? You know, again, some people are into the weird shit, like me, but it's not bad. It's just vanilla. It's good vanilla, but vanilla for some people is bad. Runeterra's like good lesbian porn. Yeah. No, I think that works. That works.
Break any rule I have to.
I'm here for hardcore Fuda. Yeah, hardcore Fuda is kind of what Artifact was.
Scream for me.
And that's why some people liked it. And it's also why it didn't really have like super mainstream appeal. And it's also why a lot of people set themselves to offline before launching it. Yeah, no, it makes a lot of sense. I would actually say that. Hit Troll Warlord. What am I doing? I haven't even been paying attention to this game. What's happening here? Fourth Savage over Doom? I don't know. I kind of just want this Doom to actually hit a level. Should I play for blockers? Ah, whatever. I don't care. I mean, there's some big blockers out there. Come on, Doom. Don't stiff me like this, buddy. Come on, Burrow. This is weird. Maybe I'll actually backline my team then, just so when the assassins jump here, so they should be prioritizing this corner. Let's see. Void went here again. What the fuck? Does Void not use assassin jump logic? He seems to be, he's using like weird, he's jumping in different ways than assassins do. That's interesting. I wonder if Yusu knows about this. Cuz I've never heard anyone mention that. Void seems to use different assassin jump logic. That makes a lot of sense. He's jumping a lot slower, that's why. No, he's not. He's not jumping. If he's jumping slower, he's still jumping to the back line. It's not just slower, he's literally choosing targets in different ways. Which is interesting, and that makes sense that they would code him differently because, of course, he doesn't want to, like, stand where normal assassins are, right? So this guy's paired on Void, so we can block him here. Triple blacklist into Doom. He's out of gold, so we can sell the Void. Doom up, and it's so weird. I mean, I guess if Void is jumping on the left side, it seems to be using like, I don't know if it's blink dagger targeting, because assassins will jump to the furthest unit. Oh, no, he jumped to the back line here. Maybe it's not random either. There's no way they would make it random. Maybe it's some third kind of targeting. That's just different. I don't know. But yeah, it's interesting. It's a pretty late chrono. My board feels, you know, a bit behind, but I guess this is fine. Yeah, that's weird. Well, he's alive. Alive is bad. If he hits Void, he could win Void Medusa. 35.
And now
Want to be on blockers. We have 0 gold value here, so we roll without interests. Void Medusa, lock is Void. So when it's in shop, it's on a blocker. There's 1 less Void in the pool. So even if we never buy this, if we just lock it both rounds, you can't find it. And we're just chilling. I mean, I think this board plays to no improvements. I mean, we're heads up against the guy who's deep in assassins, so it's not as if we can't box. Boxing is always an option. For my 1 minute testing in freestyle, Void seems to jump like other assassins, but other assassins have like no RNG. Like, he could never jump to something like a Sand King here if he jumped to like other assassins. He'll always jump to one of these two. So it must be like under a specific, because I've seen, even before this game, I've seen Void do weird jumps before. I think taking a box is probably best. We hit roster versus refresher. That's actually a little hard. I think it has to be roster. He completed Ndusa and sold the void to complete the Dusa. Okay. Take the void here. We might take a beast instead. Get Senking, which we're already in. Para void, which I think is completely useless. I don't think we have enough ranged units for this. Can't play for a box or anything like that here. Nothing weird. Well, I guess this is about all I can do. I don't know, maybe Refresher is better. It's like, Void with Chrono is kind of funny, but I don't even know how good it is. I mean, my spiders will get frozen. His Void will be able to attack through it, and his Void is kind of like more damage. Chrono might just be too symmetrical. Whereas Refresher's alright.
Trust in me and be rewarded.
So it's kind of interesting. Let's talk about his board here, since we're winning.
I'm gonna make an
Here,
example
he's
out
got...
I'm basically
What opportunities does he have to cut? So the thing about assassins is... Or sorry, the thing about insects, and well, part of the reason they're a little vulnerable, and maybe people haven't figured this out quite yet, but insects are very counterable.
White spire is in the palm of your hand.
Like if he's in that scenario, we were basically heads up for like, I mean, he knew I was gonna be his heads up opponent like 6 rounds ago. So if he's in that situation, what he can do is he can play for like an insect counter. Like instead of the second void on the board, he can put like a level 1 bristle or level 1 alchemist. Acid spray and cool spray will absolutely destroy insects like over and over and over and over again, right? And I think he needed to do that. He might have won if he did that. So if you see yourself in a game, don't do this before you're like heads up, but they're very counterable in that way. Even more so than mages. Because mages is like, you need the scaled pair, and it's not like, sometimes mage player can be winning by so much, the scaled pair isn't enough, maybe. Because scaled pair is just 30%. But like most of the purpose of the alliance gets just straight up disabled under the effects of like spray, cool spray or acid spray. Actually, both are just called sprays. I guess that's just a concept, a spray. Yeah, so insects are just very vulnerable to getting sprayed on. Oh, dude, the lore. It's like using a can of Raid. Wow, I never thought about it like that.